A couple of years of awards.
Agreed. It's just sad because I feel like at this point, people take Mad Men for granted.
A little bit, yeah.
Because it doesn't move the needle. Like, you have to watch the whole season to have your hair blown back. It's not like each episode is like a thrill ride. It's almost like the last 2 episodes, like, holy fuck, this puts everything into context. It's a very slow burn, blah, blah, blah. 2 of the best shows on television, and we're going to be covering them. We're super excited. If you'd like to support us, please do so. First and foremost, at our Subbable site at Subbable, subbable.com/baldmove. It's a way for you to subscribe either one time or monthly to help us pay to produce this content. And you can also bank the money that you spend with us to save up progressively larger and cooler perks. If you haven't already, please check it out. We're actually going to get a proper pitch video up in the next couple weeks to explain this a little bit better. But if you have a Google account or an Amazon account, you're 95% of the way through signing up. And you can subscribe for free. So please do check that out. You can also use our Amazon.baldmove.com affiliate link, and that works real simple too. Anything you buy on Amazon after you use that link, we get a tiny cut of it, and it helps out immensely. Last but not least, we appreciate ratings and reviews on iTunes. It's the single biggest thing you can do to help us grow our cast. So if nothing else, please do that. Share us on social media. We appreciate everything you guys do to support us, and it's literally what makes us cover the amount of cast that we do possible. And we are going to hopefully blow you guys away with the number of casts that we cover in 2014.
Definitely.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing coverage.
I'm super excited about it.
That's it. Are we ready for feedback?
I'm ready.
Dawn K says, just listened to your Instant Cast and was thrilled to hear you mention my factoid about the lack of train tunnels in Georgia. I felt almost famous for a minute. I did a little checking, and there's actually only one working train tunnel in Georgia. It's in northern Georgia on the Tennessee border, 200 miles from where the characters would be. According to the maps we have seen in Terminus, it's the approximate location of Macon, which is Dawn's hometown. Central Georgia is essentially flat. There would be no reason for a tunnel. I've heard of artistic license, but I wish they'd make some effort to be realistic. Most locals, if you have a series set in any kind of locale, that's like their big gripe, because it's like, you know what? This is supposed to be, like, for example, Justified. It's set in...
I was going to say, except for Justified, they've done a lot of really cool things with the coal in the mountains.
They have, but it's shot in L.A., and a lot of people, a lot of locals say that. It's like, you're supposed to be on the highway between Lexington and what is that bumfuck town that they're all from? Heartland.
It's Harlan County. Yeah.
We're supposed to be, and that's not what that looks like. It's, that stuff like that. And, that was, again, that's a big local gripe.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think that the big problem with the tunnel sequence was that it's geographically not possible. There's plenty of problems to go around. That was just an
there are.
But thanks for pointing that out to us. Sent in an email and said, wanted to let me know for my nut addiction that today, March 25th, is National Pecan Day.
Okay.
Pecan Day. So I'm going to roll over to Jungle Jim's after we're done and celebrate by getting like a pound of pecans and eating them all.
All right. Don't forget the pig's feet.
Hog jows, all the way. Pickled hog jows.
The venison.
Brian Dubb says, love your comments about Eugene. I totally agree. I don't like him either, but I hope they use his brain power in a Sherlock Holmes sort of,
Wait, you're giving him way more credit.
Let's stop so we can have some riotous laughter. Eugene Sherlock Holmes intelligence. Anyway, to overcome the inevitable sandbagging they're going to get in Terminus, we already saw a little bit of his brain with the decision not to go to Washington first and evaluating Glenn's group as allies. It will take some effort of smart writing, so with this show, I'm a bit doubtful they can pull it off. You're right to be skeptical there, Brian.
Can I just say that I think this season has been more smartly written than any other season of The Walking Dead? I think the way that they've tied it together, the structure of it alone, has made it more intricate and interesting than any previous season.
Okay. I think you're maybe pandering a little bit, but I think you're also sincere. So
I'm not pandering, yes. Okay. I'm very sincere.
My take is it's very ambitious what they've been trying to do, and they've been trying at least to get characterizations and flesh out these characters, which has been neglected for years.
Oh yeah.
So if I had, but there's still just a ton of nonsense on the show too.
That's totally true.
The nonsense level has been just as high as it has been in years past. So, I'm not willing to say that I think next year's going to be better because we don't have a new showrunner. We don't have, there's no reason to think that, unless they continue to, if they start spending money for better directors and writers, more experienced people, that would, and maybe we'll see that in the lead up to next season.
Well, this last episode next week is supposed to be written by Angela Kang Angela Kang? I don't know her last name.
Well, it's directed by Michelle MacLaren, unless they fucking
Scott
change
Gimple.
it on.
No, it's also directed by Michelle MacLaren, which was huge in making Breaking Bad awesome.
Yeah, and Game of Thrones and lots of stuff she's done.
So I'm super excited about what we're going to see next episode. I think that Scott Gimple has brought a lot to this season as far as character development, like you were talking about, that we haven't seen in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, and
just the way it's done has been handled much better.
Yeah, honestly, if Lizzie and Mika's storyline, which ended up having some glorious moments for Tyrese and Carol, those are probably my biggest gripes of the season.
Sure.
So I don't know, but they were huge, pretty huge gripes.
Yeah, episode 2, no one would argue that was good.
I continue to maintain that season 2B through season 3A is the finest 16 episode stretch of The Walking Dead yet, and nothing I've seen has changed my mind on that.
Okay, well, I would have to go back and rewatch that stretch to compare it with season 4, because I think season 4,
and also
aside
season
from
4,
the governor plot,
well, those are 3 fucking episodes, buddy.
3 episodes, sure, but out of a 16 episode run,
and the Mika and Lizzie stuff we both hated.
But that was only like 2 episodes. So out of 16 episodes, 5 that we did not like, and then 11 that I thought were at least good and some excellent.
It might be. You might be right.
I think it's approaching. If they can really nail this season finale.
And I might have nostalgic goggles on for the end of season 2, because I think the finale, the last 2 episode stretch there, really made up for a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It did.
Because there was some shit in the first half of that season. But anyway, this is my favorite email of the week. Amanda D. I am a registered structural engineer. I'm licensed in the state of Texas. I have 9 years of design experience with concrete buildings, and I teach concrete design at the University of Houston. Okay. I am literally an expert on concrete structures. There's 0% chance that Maggie shot down the roof of the train tunnel. 0. It's fucking goddamn impossible. And here's why. Reinforced concrete came into use in 1853. Google says railroads started around 1830. Odds are this tunnel would have steel rods called rebar continuously crisscross through this concrete for structural or fluxural capacity, which I think is how Doc Brown traveled back in time.
It is.
He had the fluxural capacitor. We use rebar to prevent sudden failures. The material properties of rebar are such that sudden failure is literally impossible. I know nothing about the impact strength of bullets, so let's say, for argument, that Maggie had enough ammunition to break through to 3,000 psi strength of concrete, which at a bare fucking minimum is 12 inches thick. I'll help you out there, Amanda. She would not be shooting through 12 inches of concrete. Period.
I've been to the gun range, and they use less than that in the gun range to stop bullets.
Well, they usually have a big fucking steel plate at the end of that,
that's true.
But
yeah.
Anyway, if that's the case, then only a small section would fail or fall because a steel rebar would hold the rest up. Redundancy like that is always built into the system. But let's say this is an unreinforced concrete tunnel. It's still 12 inches thick of concrete in an arch, and I would feel comfortable standing under it while Maggie shot at it. I believe 150 years of water damage is more likely to break the structure than bullets are, but you still wouldn't have a sudden collapse. I understand that everyone's in the email. I understand that everyone's suspension of belief is different, and when you're professional, it's just like you and I when we see people doing hacking, or using computers of any kind in a television show, we're like, ha ha, LOL. But I'm not an expert in concrete, and I was like, there's no fucking way. I would be terrified to be in any tunnel if I knew that some random jackass could empty a clip of small arms fire and bring the whole house down.
Yeah.
And like, if she had a grenade launcher, if she had a grenade, if she had some kind of high explosives, I think Amanda's here saying that still wouldn't work.
Maybe so.
But that would at least okay, that makes sense. But she says she didn't have enough ammunition to fight her way out of a couple dozen walkers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she had the firepower necessary to bring down a tunnel.
But probably not. No.
But oh well.
Yeah.
At least we got the cool scene of Glenn being a complete dumbass.
So I will say, when they show the shot of the roof, the ceiling of this tunnel, it does not look like there's rebar anywhere up there. So it's the unreinforced kind. It's the 1830s.
This is
or
a
whatever.
200-year-old tunnel from the Revolutionary War era.
Exactly. Exactly. This is one of those very few built then.
Yeah. It was just raring to go.
And it must have had water damage.
It must have. And like the millions of trains that have rumbled through there, it was just a ticking time bomb. It was ready to be condemned.
It was.
And then the zombies came, and they didn't have time to board it up. That's what must have happened. Matt B wonders, in this world, how does It's Classified end all question to Eugene about what he knows?
Thank you.
Did you get, though, that Glenn thinks this is a bunch of bullshit?
I didn't pick that up, no.
When he said, because when Glenn was like, oh, I bet he's told you about him being and there was an implied, and you believe him to that?
Oh, there was?
I thought so.
Yeah, you might be right.
But Glenn had just spent 50 minutes being a fucking idiot, so it's hard. It was hard for me to take him serious at that point.
Yeah, I just don't buy that no one questions this. I mean, maybe Abraham doesn't because he wants a mission to go on. But Rosita, but Glenn, Maggie,
and
Sasha,
and
Bob.
And Abraham have some kind of relationship. But yeah, Sasha, Bob, all those people. Like, I got the clear impression that Glenn didn't buy it.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe if Glenn says that if Glenn vouches for him, then Sasha and Bob and Maggie go along.
He's not. I don't think he is. I think he's doing the opposite of vouching. I think he's unvouching.
I know that's what you think, but I didn't
He's
pick that
giving a
up.
vouchectomy.
I don't know. I didn't get that. I didn't get it.
Oh. Our old pal Staffa.
All right.
Proprietor of the Out of Continues podcast. If you're a gamer, you should check him out. Says, Michonne's been doing a lot of bonding with Rick and Carl. Michonne has been spending a lot of time with Rick. Do you think they're eventually going to get the two of them together? As of right now, it doesn't look like the two of them are bonding directly, but Rick was really happy seeing her bond with his son. That's enough for Don Draper.
Sure.
If Rick Grimes was Don Draper, he would have proposed already.
He needs to take her to a hojo.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. I mean, just all she had to do is not freak out when a milkshake is spilled, and he's ready to propose. But Rick was really happy seeing her bond with the son, so maybe she's starting to become a mother figure for Carl, and that can open up a possibility for future relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm super comfortable with Michonne and Rick becoming an item.
Sure.
I also am super comfortable with them maintaining a respectful comrade in arms relationship.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on their relationship.
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell. I do like the bonding between Carl and Michonne, and I think Rick likes it, so maybe there is... Maybe they're nudging him in that direction, but they're not forcing it.
Let me take your temperature on your shipping possibilities here. Rick and Michonne.
I'm 50-50 on them.
Okay. Let's say Carol and Daryl.
Carol and Daryl, when they get back together. Carol's going to push for it. I think it's more likely to happen than not.
I think it's going to be interesting because assuming that Daryl gets back with Beth,
mm-hmm.
and Daryl does have the hots for Beth because apparently he's vented his soul to these roughnecks that he has a woman that he's pining after because Lim knew all about that shit.
See, I thought he just guessed.
No,
I thought he was just intuiting.
The way he couched that dialogue, I got the impression that Daryl had talked about that, which was kind of remarkable.
Okay.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe it's just because I saw Now You See Me today, and I thought he was doing a Woody Harrelson.
But I think Carol has kind of been content to, can tease him and see that Daryl just not interested in anybody. But I think it's going to be weird for her if he actually was interested in Beth.
Oh, yeah.
And lots
of
interesting...
Because Carol was kind of Beth's coach back in the prison a little bit, too, right? Wasn't she helping out with her knife skills? Was Beth in on that?
I thought she was trying to teach her some of the... she was another backup medical person.
Okay.
Maybe. That's like an old season, late season 3 memory, maybe.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we got that. Daryl and Beth.
Before they get back to Carol, I think that's likely.
No, I'm saying, like, are you, like, for it, like, out of 1 to 10?
Oh, I'm less for it than I would be with Carol.
Bob and Sasha.
I'm for it.
Totally for that.
I'm for it. Bob's a good dude now.
And I love his act. I think they're both really compelling. And,
yeah, he's not an alcoholic anymore.
And they were also, they seemed like an adult relationship. Like, hey, this is too forward and too soon, but who knows when it'll happen again. And you didn't accept it. Okay, fine. There was no, like, guilt or anything. It's like two adults negotiating relationship. I loved it.
Okay.
I think is there any I'm missing?
Carl and Beth.
Carl and Beth, no. Sorry,
Glenn
Carl.
and Maggie. No, I'm totally against that.
I'm getting over it.
You're getting over it?
Early this season, I thought that they could not kill them. Now, after seeing their like sick, single-minded determination to get back together, I'm kind of rooting against them.
Oh boy,
does that make me a bad person?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. I probably am a bad person.
Yeah, Carl and Beth.
No, sorry, Carl.
Okay.
Daryl has thrown his non-existent hat into the ring, and he's actually beating your fucking real hat that's in the ring.
Yeah. He trumped your hat with no hat.
And you can't win. When your hat gets trumped by no hat, you're fucked. Yeah. Poncho beats hat 6 days out of the week and twice on Sunday. All right, let's move on. Allison from our old hometown of Indianapolis said, one thing I wondered about was if the rabbit claimer, now referred to as RC, actually put the Thumper's head half in Daryl's trash bag. Food safety note. How long can you roll around with a severed rabbit carcass and it still be edible if it's in a trash bag? And
a few hours, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it was for breakfast, and he's still toting this thing way later in the day, I'm assuming.
Maybe you just cook it extra well. And
maybe.
And then chow down because it's the apocalypse.
Anyway, getting back to Allison, I'm thinking this is the guy who was debating whether he could cut away zombie bites from a fresh deer carcass. So his idea of food safety and our idea of food safety might be different. Anyway, Allison says, I'm thinking maybe King Solomon of the gray hair did it and blamed RC because he knew the conflicts would continue between the two bowmen. Therefore, it would result in RC being beat down or beat out of the gang. Gray hair seems like he wants to cultivate the relationship with Daryl because he knows he's the best asset they have and RC is expendable. Your thoughts?
It's interesting, and I recall this being a fairly early email that we got because now I know, after reading Reddit today, that theory is rolling around. I think people are talking about that.
Kudos, Allison.
So, yeah, you may have been the first one to have that. I want to say the writers are not that clever because there's no evidence in there necessarily. Like, everything they do spells out Bowman put it in his bag. Joe saw it. There's just no evidence to really support that, right? It's pure conjecture.
But Joe could bust this out at a later time to win an argument with Daryl.
I wouldn't say it's not true. I would just say there's nothing that compels me to think it is.
It's like, it's like it feels to me like he's being groomed for second in command. Because maybe Joe doesn't even like everybody, and maybe Joe is not the raping, pillaging kind of guy. Like he's not above taking shit from people and killing folk and hurting folk when he needs to.
Yeah.
But some of these guys are a little too much, and he senses that Daryl's got the kind of qualities that he would need to keep these other guys in line.
That could be true.
Do you feel me on that theory?
Yeah. No, I think Joe realizes that Bowman is a terrible person.
He's an asshole on every level. He's an asshole
complete
among
asshole.
assholes.
Because, and I think if Joe did this, or if Joe has any responsibility in any of this, it's probably to the degree that he thinks Bowman is an asshole and wants to get rid of him. I don't know that he put the rabbit in the bag, but he's seen him lie before, right? He lied about the bed thing.
Well, we don't know if he
Well, we don't know if he lied about the bed, but
if Bowman,
he didn't respect claimed in that instance. For
if
sure.
Bandana remembered Rick's face, he sure as shit will remember the fact that he didn't, respect Claim. Which
I
kind of
claimed
wonder why Lim didn't catch a beating. He didn't look physically beat.
Yeah. Well, maybe he lied about it, and Joe said, "Well, sorry, we can't determine because you're saying one thing, he's saying another." But then this would be a history of lying on Lim's part.
Right.
And now maybe Joe sees that, and he decides, you know what,
and Joe
take
is
him
keeping
out.
an extra eye, just thinking like, oh, I see this situation could be. And the other thing is, in that scene, he gave him an out.
Yeah.
He said exactly what you did, and if
you didn't really lie or steal.
And act like some pussy fucking cop, did you?
Uh-huh.
Or that would have been how the line read if it was on HBO. But yeah, he gave him an out, and I do believe that Lim would still be amongst the living if he had just come clean at that. You got me, Joe. He got his ass beat.
Yeah, well, he didn't steal. He wouldn't have lied if he had told the truth there. That was the thing that really got him, is that final lie.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't against the rules. He even specifically said that, almost like you're cool if you just, tell me the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Michael H. says, Daryl's adventure was the most interesting part of the show. I can imagine bands of men like that wandering the countryside, taking advantage of strength in numbers while avoiding the confines and authority of a place like Woodbury. That's a hellacious thought, that these are basically the thugs of Woodbury that thought Woodbury was too uptight.
Oh, jeez.
Joe's homespun philosophy and code of claim worked for me. Daryl will part ways with them the first time the gang decides to gang rape or murder someone. Could Joe's gang be the ones behind the slaughter of the group that the governor saw back in the first half of the season? Daryl could set up his own gang of post-apocalyptic Klingons wandering the countryside, answerable to no one, enforcing their own discipline, but also eschewing the nastier behavior of Joe's group. Or Joe and Daryl could be those.
Mm-hmm. The problem I have with this whole system of claiming is exactly what Daryl does at the very end of this with the tomato or the strawberry, whatever he gets. Some dude can see something, be reaching for it. You say claimed, it's yours.
Well, he should have fucking claimed it.
But what I'm saying is that is going that is going to inspire resentment throughout this group. It has to. There's no way it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, it's not a meritocracy.
Not at all. It's just the first guy to to say claimed.
I would be fucking grade school yard rules.
It is, and people are going to eventually get angry. This group is going to self-destruct. I don't see any other outcome for this, honestly.
All right. Graham H says, after rewatching Claim... Oh, by the way, while we're still talking about Klingon, we did confirm that was Denise Richards.
Yeah. Or no, not Denise Richards.
Not Denise
who's
Richards,
in Wild Things and Starship Troopers.
Denise Crosby.
Yes.
Which is also in Wild Things and Star Trek now. Pet Sematary and Star Trek.
Yeah.
Someone on Facebook posted, goddamn, I can't remember their name.
And Deep Impact. What a fucking horrible movie.
Huh. Okay, I've never seen it.
God, I hate that movie. Okay.
Anyway, someone posted that Michael Dorn has signed on next season to replace her and become a wildly more popular character.
Okay.
Love it.
That'd be awesome.
And Worf would be the perfect person for this, because this basically is what he programmed the holodeck to be for fun.
Oh, yeah.
On a daily basis, he did this just to blow off steam.
Yeah, give him a batleth and unleash him on a horde.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's a horror show.
That's what this is.
Supposedly. It's been light on horror of late. Graham H. says, after rewatching Claim, I noticed the bandit who choked out Tony was in fact a bowman. We actually talked about this, so we'll just move on.
Okay.
VD says, it's killing my soul that a team so battle-tested, experienced, would just stroll in their entirety right up to and through the Willy Wonka-esque gates of Terminus. Neither Abraham, with all his presumed combat experience, Eugene with his analytical strategic mind. Hold on a second.
Oh, God.
Good one, VD. Or Sasha, who's been critical of not pragmatic up until this point, thought to do any kind of recon just a few meters away to see if Terminus was truly a safe haven it professed to be. I don't think that this is hindsight nitpicking on my part, although I've been thoroughly accused of it. Preach it, brother. because Sasha especially should have had her bullshit antenna all the way up at the start. Maggie and Glenn were dragged to Woodbury kicking and screaming, so they never saw the glossy, promising veneer on the outside, but Sasha knew, and between the three of them could have seen the importance of a more cautious plan of approach. That is an entirely on-point criticism of this episode, and I have no response to it.
Yeah,
Other
Sasha
than,
being
did you
key.
not hear the music saying to not be nervous, not be
frail,
frail,
not be fucking pale? I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, he killed it on that one. I don't know if you could say anything contrary to it. All right. Jim is not taking my offer to say something contrary. So moving on to Jamie
I don't
Dove.
want to.
During the episode on our first watch, it's obvious that the writers are using the tennis ball guy to try to get in Daryl's head about... I love how we've got like 8 emails and 8 different nicknames for this fucker.
Yep.
To try to get in Daryl's head about joining his group permanently, and I even said to my husband, well, that might have worked had Daryl not been through everything he has been so far, but not now, and I dismissed it. The line about an outdoor cat thinking he's an indoor cat was really good, but Daryl had a family in Rick's group, and that's hard to give up. Yeah, like, fucking Joe, we didn't mention that in the recap proper, but fucking Joe thinking he can psychoanalyze our boy?
Yeah, that's a fool's errand.
Jesus, it's nothing sadder than an outdoor cat thinking he's an indoor cat. Why not both, man? But after seeing the whole episode and then the rewatch, I might have to reconsider. You've talked in past shows about Daryl shutting down and withdrawing after Governor, and Beth was good to help stop that, but now she's gone, and while I don't know if he'll stop looking for her, Tennis Ball had some other quieter moments that really did seem to be getting to Daryl. Telling him Terminus wouldn't really accept guys like them, and how in this group there are no illusions. They don't have to be friends. They just have to follow the rules. Daryl is a follower at heart, but more than that, Tennis Ball was spending quite a lot of time showing him the ropes. It's likely he's grooming Daryl for a second-in-command position. I'm on this your wavelength there. A space Daryl is really happy occupying. It's slightly ham-fisted, but still important scene where Daryl starts to cover up the dead guy who tried to frame him but then says fuck it and doesn't. Wasn't a show for the rest of the group or for Tennis Ball. That was all Daryl. They wouldn't have known either way. Having a family in Rick's group was good, but also led to the heartache he's feeling over losing them, so maybe no attachments will be better. Her email brings up a really solid point, other than the one she actually made. Is Daryl just giving up on Beth?
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like he kind of did when he hit that crossroads, the literal crossroads. Because he just falls to his knees, and next thing you know, this group finds him. And it looks like he's been, just sitting there on his knees for a while. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go.
I don't know what to do if I was him in his place, but it does. I mean, maybe he's the counterpart to Glenn, where he's just completely rational. It's like, I tracked this far. It's a fool's errand to run after a car, and now I'm at a crossroads, and I've got no tracks going either way.
Yeah.
So, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, it really feels like he's not very concerned with finding Beth anymore. Or he would like to, but he doesn't know how to do that.
3 emails to go. Andrea P. says, our heroes seem to have the worst luck with the number of zombies they run into. I remember the governor and Merle said the prison was in the red zone, and it seems like they were trapped in that zone the whole time after the farm. I don't know if it's the geography or the wind direction or what, but they were on the zombie highway. Survivors at Terminus seem to have much better luck. That's a good point. The fact that there's hot pockets of zombies.
Zombie hot pockets?
That would be disgusting.
Yuck. They're just full of brains. They're like sheep brains, goat brains.
Oh, see, you're saying hot pockets for zombies. I'm literally saying zombie hot pockets. They're hot pockets made from zombie parts.
Why would you do that?
Why hot pockets in general, man?
I don't know. I mean, zombies got to eat, and if you can manufacture a product to keep the zombie hunger at bay.
There you go. You just throw them a couple brainy hot pockets.
Yeah, maybe we get some zombie rolls up in here too. Little bite-sized pizza rolls.
Zombie fritters.
Yeah.
Brain fritters.
Sure.
All right. Andrew's theory is implausible and solid. It would explain why some areas really have the shit in the stick as far as zombies, and some areas seem to be completely lightly defended.
Sure.
Yet these are all within relatively easy walking distances of each other too. So
That's true. Walkers tend to walk.
Walkers gotta walk.
And also the idea that with any amount of walkers in your zone, you would not seal the gates.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truly shocking part. If this is not something extra,
Although maybe they don't
yet.
parade their juicy asses around in the yard like the fucking prison guys did. I don't know.
Maybe.
Ashley S. says, I don't know if you've already discussed this, but are we to assume that Eugene is on the autism spectrum? Maybe Asperger's. Asperger's. I'm no expert by any means on autism or Asperger's, but I'm beginning to figure that it's an assumption that we're supposed to make, or if the guy's just weird. I also can't tell if the writers want us to like him or hate him. I don't think the writers give a fuck. They're just throwing him out there and whatever. They're full on honey badger with Eugene. Do you think that he is being portrayed as an autistic person?
I don't know enough about autism or Asperger's to say.
Yeah.
Like that's
because that's something that's
I don't know what
I know
what
it's
a
not
typical.
I know it's not a new thing, but I feel like that's something that people have actually been throwing around as a label in the last 15 years. Because I guarantee I went to school with dudes that you would say were autistic or Asperger's, but they were just thrown in the gin pop.
Okay.
And they were just the kids that were off.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know that putting a label on it changed the fact that this guy has very little functioning social empathy.
He's completely socially inept. Yeah. But I don't know at what severity.
Yeah.
Like you would label it with a certain label.
So like if we
really
had
don't
if we had a book or a psychologist and he'd be like, "Yep, he definitely has Asperger's," would that change how we feel about him?
Okay, that's an interesting question.
Because that would then make him seem like
less like a creepy asshole and more like
he's not a garden variety dipshit. He actually kind of can't help this, which I think that's true of most garden variety dipshits, or else they would stop being dipshits.
Yes, I think it would make him more sympathetic if we had some kind of official label to put on it.
It sure as shit didn't work for Sonia on the bridge. People straight up hated her, and they were like very forward with the fact that she has some kind of autism is on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think that was interesting that you would, even though it's the same character, you'd feel differently if he is officially diagnosed.
Yeah, I think maybe so.
All right.
I'm not sure why, but I would.
That's cool. Mike W. says, with regards to the comments about Glenn lying to Maggie about being out of character or not out of character or whatever, I think the bottom line is Glenn wasn't lying for the sake of Maggie or what she would think about Tara. He was doing it for Tara. Kind of the theory I came around on. Tara's been so hung up and guilty about her association with one old one-eyed bride, and she couldn't let go of herself, couldn't let go of or forgive herself for that. Simply, I think Glenn is suggesting that he found her on the road as him giving Tara the nod to say, it's okay, you're a good person, and you can move on. That doesn't have to be your past anymore.
Okay.
Something else.
I get it.
Glenn might feel guilty.
About taking Tara in?
Yes, into a fool's errand where they almost got themselves killed.
Oh, I thought you meant about saving Tara's life after the prison. He might feel guilty about saving this person who contributed to Herschel's death.
The first time she went in for a bonding fist bump, he's like, "Oh, I've made a terrible mistake."
Yeah.
Toned that shit way down on that character, haven't they?
They did. They really did. And I feel like that's an evolution of the character itself. I feel like that's. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a strong, because when we saw her fist bumping and like trying to pretend like she knew all about weapons, she was very naive. This world hadn't really gotten its grip on her yet, right? And now that she's seen some form of destruction and some horrific acts, she's not as concerned with fist bumping people or pretending like she knows everything.
I think
she's come down to earth a little bit.
I have an alternate theory, which as the writers have actually made her an actual character, they don't need to give her a bunch of fucking tits.
Okay, yeah. When are they going to do that with Eugene?
Good. I mean, like I said, it would not surprise me, assuming Eugene survives, if he eventually became like a fan favorite. Because I already love the hell out of him.
God,
even if he never
I hate him. He's so annoying.
Yes, he is, but the stuff that he brings out in other people are hilarious.
Yeah.
He's completely socially unacceptable in a way that Merle was, but he's got this innocent Forrest Gump-like the way about him that completely disarms people that should be like just pissing blood dealing with him.
I don't know. I put myself in the situation with the characters, and I think, how would I react to this guy? And it would not be pleasant. I would not. I don't know that I'd be able to deal with him. I would part ways.
You'd be able to deal with him.
I would. He would be
ran
gone.
Around the Orfmeister, man.
No. He was nothing like this guy. He wouldn't say completely inappropriate things.
Yeah. Oh, he wouldn't to our girlfriends.
He said.
Are you
he said
fucking
inappropriate things, but he would not say them like he knew everything. Like that's the
true.
Thing is the cockiness of this asshole.
The condescension and arrogance weren't there.
That's the problem I have with this guy.
Okay.
I couldn't deal with that.
All right, I'll buy on that. That's it.
Okay.
That's all we got. We got some spoiler shit to talk about, and then we'll be out.
Sounds good.
So we got the spoilers. This is our feedback section. I'm a professional podcaster, and I'm roughly transitioning into this new segment.
That's really rough.
Yeah. If you'd like to send us an email for next week, you can do so at watchingdead@baldmove.com. You can follow us on our live threads on facebook.com/baldmove and over Twitter, Jim's Kernels of Wisdom.
They're kernels. It's only 140 characters, so.
Yeah, Jim Jones Gold is over there at Twitter @baldmove. Almost threw a .com on it. Having a hard time transitioning here. That's it. Okay. Save me, for Christ's sake.
All right, I will jump in here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're, of course, going to be back next week after the episode
for the finale.
Yeah, season finale. The real season finale, not the half-season bullshit finale.
That's right.
Real season finale with an instant cast. And until then, I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron. See you next week.
And we're back with the spoiler section.
Tyler P. says, I'm not too bothered about Carl being denied these really cool moments from the comic. He's talking about my disappointment in how they basically... Carol stole his moment with laying down the law in the juvenile justice department.
Okay.
I think something that tends to be forgotten is that before the prison fell in the comic, Carl didn't really do that much at all, besides killing Shane. Not a small
Which
thing.
is arguable, yeah.
And the occasional conversation with Sophia, he was very much a side character with little to no panel time. It's because of the development of the TV Carl that comic Carl didn't have that I feel like he's already had his coming-of-age moment when he ultimately killed Lori in Season 3, something comic Carl did not do, and thus him killing Lizzie wasn't needed. Of course, one could make the argument that the whole element of him doing what the adults can't from the comic version is also lost, which is true, but I still think we'll see something like this in the future.
Yeah, I certainly don't think this locks Carl into any pattern that he has to be in.
But they are swinging back to kind of baby Carl.
Yeah. I won't argue with that, for sure. Every time you say Comic Carl, I think you're going to say Comic Carnival.
Yeah.
Which is like a local...
chain.
It might be a regional chain here.
No, it's just local.
Okay.
They are shit for comic book stores in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I had no idea how spoiled. I took my son to get like Mega Man and Sonic, was fucking horrified. These are like fucking flop houses that have bare 2x4s nailed together holding shit. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. And the one that's like in a decent place and has a decent client base are a bunch of pretentious assholes. It sucks. I miss Hometown Comics and Comic Carnival so bad. Anyway.
Can I jump in here with something real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I got a small spoiler for next week. Something that we know isn't going to happen because of something that Robert Kirkman said in an AMA. One of the questions asked was, how are you planning to bring Negan? I guess he's called Negan.
Yes, it's Negan.
Yeah.
Not Negan.
Clarified in the AMA as well. To bring Negan into the TV series, would you censor him or try something else? And Robert Kirkman's response was, we've got time to figure that out. Scott Gimple is a genius, and I think we'll be able to make it work. So,
well,
that says...
Scott Gimple, a genius.
Hey, that's not the important part. The important part is we've got time to figure that out. which means that Negan is not going to be in Terminus.
No.
And we obviously, I think we kind of know that because Terminus is likely to be cannibals anyway.
Right. And
the hunters, but that I think confirms it.
Tyler, I apologize for us bisecting your comment with our bullshit, but I'm going to keep the train rolling.
Okay.
People that think that Terminus is going to be wrapped up next week are out of their mind. There's no way they built this.
No.
That we're going to be at Terminus for a long time, people. There's no way they built that set.
Yeah.
And no one AMC the way we did that we're not going to get at least a half season, probably a full season out of it. Now, that fills my very black heart with despair because I literally don't know. That also blows a lot of the common theories about, well, it's going to be a trap or it's going to be part of the Hunter plot line. It's going to be like, I can't see them all be true unless AMC finally said, you know what? We got the fucking Amazing Spider-Man paying us to promote their shit. We got Hyundai filling us trunkfuls. Hyundai's full of. We can spend some money and build a couple sets per season for the show that's getting just massive amounts of cash.
Yeah,
that would be if Terminus does wrap up in like 2 or 3 episodes the next season. That is the one thing other than hiring better talent on the writing and director side that would give me a lot of hope that this shit's going to turn around.
So I agree with that. They might want to spend more money. That'd be a good thing. I also wonder, Terminus is a real place. And I saw on Reddit a comparison of the real Terminus with the Terminus set that they have. And they're almost identical. I mean, the only thing that they've changed is it looks like they have made everything look a little bit newer, made everything look a little bit more overgrown, and put the Terminus signs in the window, obviously. I wonder if they're not using that actual area to shoot.
Well,
because that would be very cheap and very AMC-like.
Yeah, and effective.
And if they were only going to stay there for an episode or two, that would work out well, right?
Sure.
Like the Google Maps of that place look exactly like the set that we see on the screen.
Well, in that case, then that would be very smart.
But I don't know if they rebuilt it or if they're using the actual location.
If it looks a lot like that, I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
And that would also I don't mind them being on the road either. I don't think that's been the problem of the series.
Oh no.
And that seems like a very cheap way to shoot too. You just pull a random section over the road, and you got a couple of shitty cars, and
find a tunnel.
You have some camp scene. You have some campfire scenes. That seems a cheap way to shoot too.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get back to Tyler's treatise on Carl here, shall we?
Nah, let's not. I want to talk. No, I'm kidding.
In the comic version, Carl is angry, but more than anything, it's just false bravado, and that he's scared. In the show version, he's angry, but there's also some really strong resentment. He's cussing. He's even being somewhat cruel with the Shane mentions. The dialogue he has isn't the same. In the comic, he pretty much just blames him for everyone's death, and that's it. In the show, he does that, but he also explains what he thought his father was doing wrong. He explains that the governor was still out there and that he just stayed back and played farmer and pretended everything would be okay. This dialogue and resentment is something I'd expect out of an older and more mature Carl. I thought those changes were well thought out and helped compensate for Carl's TV's older age. That's very good points.
Yeah.
And I have to come clean that some of my disappointment is that the stuff with older Carl, yes, it's more appropriate for older Carl, but I think him being younger was more compelling.
Okay.
And the way they did that was more compelling from a character standpoint. But Chandler Riggs grew up. I mean, they cast him at an appropriate age.
Yeah.
And the ravages of a time affect us all.
Ravages. Yeah. I don't know that he's old enough to be suffering from ravages of time.
Not ravages, yet. But for a character who's supposed to be 8 years old,
yeah,
they're sure as shit ravaging.
Sure.
So, anyway, Stephanie M says Terminus is the Hunter's plot line, and I believe that they are the ones that took Beth. In the comics, Dale was taken because he was easy pickings due to the fact that he only had one leg. Beth injured her foot, ankle, in a bear trap and therefore needed help walking. Therefore, I think she is the replacement Dale. The question is, does AMC have the balls to kill off Beth in that fashion as cannibals? What do you two think?
I feel like it's not Beth. I feel like Beth is with Gabriel potentially. There's a shot from the preview for next week where Rick, Michonne, and Carl walk into a room that looks like some sort of ceremonial procedure is going on. There are a lot of candles lit in this circle.
Was Beth serenading her kidnappers?
Beth
with the
was
piano?
playing piano, yeah, singing Doodlebug. No, but it looks like this. You can see like a bust of Mary off to one side. It looks like a very ceremonial religious room.
Okay.
That would seem to jive with the Gabriel storyline.
And it did have the cross on the hearse or whatever it was.
So some people were speculating that when Beth was abducted, that she was not actually abducted, but she was accidentally hit by that car, and it was whoever took her was trying to save her.
Okay.
I think that might be how it played out. I don't know.
That's a strong theory.
Yeah, so that could be interesting with Gabriel because we know he's not an evil person, right?
Right. The comic book version isn't anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Ginny K says, I think because the prison... Oh, wait. This is a take about the house that Daryl and Beth were in. I think because the person at the mortuary has been around dead people his entire life and he respects the dead too much to eat them. This is another take about Terminus being the hunters. He settles on pig's feet. Then he brings Terminus people, which isn't below his moral compass because he has to survive somehow, and at least he isn't eating them. He can then trade goods for however much payment per body. This would explain why they have newly stocked food. Also, having some kind of medical cross in their car, if that's what it is, would help them lure hurt people. Maybe hurt people make him feel less guilty. And Beth had injured her ankle. He could have seen her limping and snatched her up because he figured she wouldn't have made it on her own anyway. Maybe that's how he justifies it. Either way, I think he's trading people for food. Soylent Green style. He can live and continue to dress up dead people in his nice, clean home in peace. Too bad about his dog, though. That's dark as shit.
Yeah. Just the idea alone that you respect the dead more than the living. Like, I won't eat the dead because they're dead, but I will trade this little girl for food. That's fucked up.
It's fucked up, but it sounds pretty interesting.
Sure, I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, I watched through True Detective.
It's true. That's true. Yeah, man. People saying that I'm sick. Fucking True Detective was a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck all y'all, man. That was some dark shit there. But it was compelling as hell. Stephanie S. says, I've been going crazy wondering who the guys are that Daryl is with, and it hit me this morning that they are the guys that try to rape Carl in the comics. It didn't occur to me until now, since I just assumed AMC wouldn't go there, but I'm thinking they may actually try to rape Michonne and or Carl. Fuck.
Why not Rick, too?
We're getting really dark in these emails.
We definitely are. Are they called the Marauders?
Dark.
Is that who the Marauders are?
I don't know. That's like another one or two comic shot.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I heard the name.
They foreshadowed a Michonne rape with the thought of her shirt soaking in the sink.
Yeah.
Made all the guys rapey. And Daryl's discussion with the creeper in the woods showed that this guy isn't interested in little ones. I think scenes for the next week with Rick are not at Terminus, but somewhere else where they get caught up with Joe's group. Maybe we'll even see them Daryl sacrifice himself to save Rick, Carl, and Michonne. I don't know. Rape is a really heavy topic. And I'm nervous about this show going there. Like,
you don't think the show can handle it? Like, you just don't have the faith that they can write it, I guess, definitely enough that...
Like, so, you know, it's just like, I don't know. It's like killing babies.
Killing Lizzie.
You know, raping people and killing babies are something that's so heavy, and also that so many, many people have lost their young, lost children. Unfortunately, many people in this world have been sexually assaulted, and it's a very uncomfortable topic for everyone to broach upon. So if you're going to do that, you better have a fucking point that's beyond, we want to move the needle on ratings.
Yeah.
Because else it's going to come across as exploitative and just kind of gross.
Sure.
So I hope if they do go there that, number one, they really pressed home the point that the people doing this are scumbags, that the victim somehow is able to win and overcome and conquer this. I don't know. Like I said, I get, when I see stuff like that, I get really kind of like,
Yeah, it's a topic you need to think about before you approach it.
Yeah, I mean, this is shit that real people have gone through, and it's something that you have to not tiptoe around, because I don't believe anything's off limit for arts, but it better fucking be art.
Yeah,
if you're going to go there.
Yeah.
Because people are going to fucking come after you regardless. So you bet, if you want me saying no, that was justified, it better be really well done.
Yeah.
Robbie says, I got to thinking about how the Hunter's plotline from the comics could be be represented as the Terminus plotline on the TV show, and I came up with a theory. My memory of the arc is from the comics is spotty, but in the comics, Dale, who had a wounded leg, was preyed on by the Hunters. In a TV show, it's Tara who has a wounded leg. Granted, Dale had been bitten, and Tara seems only to have sprained her leg. Shit, that thing's shattered, and like she's got roughly 500,000 bones in her left foot now.
Yep.
Still, the similarities are leading me to believe that Tara will take Dale's place in the comics and fall prey to the Hunters. Of course, the way it plays out would be very different if Terminus is indeed the home of the Hunters. In the comics, they captured Dale in the woods and take him back to their lair, and Rick's group has to track them down. And Terminus, everyone would already be in their lair. Yep. I mean, and that's the kind of, Walking Dead remix that Kirkman seems to like doing.
Yeah.
That I'm not so much a fan of, but maybe.
Sure.
And Tara, again, I've always seen her as kind of like a half-season type character, so that would work in kind of well for that. But she's kind of growing on me, too.
Yeah, especially after her saying, oh, yeah, after Terminus, I'll go along to DC with you. Well, you may not get that chance.
Edwin C. Ooh, yeah. Edwin C. says, I've been saying it since we first started Terminus that this was not a sanctuary but a trap. I don't know if Terminus will house the Hunters exactly, but it's definitely looking like they might at least be cannibals by the look of Mary's big-ass grill. Is that a shot at Denise's mouth?
What? Her big-ass grill.
Look at the chomp. I mean, she could just bite the ass off somebody. Tear it right off. No, he's talking about her barbecue joint.
Yes. Well, she could barbecue other things.
I was going to say,
she can grill whatever she wants.
Yeah, I got a grill I could barbecue a person on, but it doesn't mean that I do. Jesus. Let's not be judging people on their grills now, Edwin. The place also resembled the sanctuary, the home of the saviors. Very good point, but I still think it's too soon to introduce them, and the word of Kirkman says that that's not going to happen. So,
for Negan, yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to come around to Tara, and I couldn't help but love Eugene in this episode. His ranting to Tara reminded me of the part in the comics where he was ranting about to a priest about his thoughts on Christianity and how I feel when I geek out in front of people who have no idea what I'm talking about. I think this next episode will see our groups reunite to escape this hell and continue on with Abraham and company to Washington, D.C. I think the show will continue with this on this road, or on the road method to start next season, leading up to the group finding the Alexander safe zone at the mid-season finale. We still have a lot of story left before they reach there, such as Abraham and Rick clashing for leadership of the group. A quick pit stop to Rick's hometown to retrieve Morgan. Another pit stop which shows Rick's fury when someone threatens Carl, and the discovery of a herd of thousands. We know that they're hinting about that possibility, at least the latter one. The possibility that the Huntress storyline, or the possibility of the Huntress storyline of the current one turns out to be something different. Attempted suicide by Maggie, although this could be a different character in the show. And director discovery of Eugene's real agenda. Yeah, man, the Hunter storyline is just such a perfect 3-episode arc that you could really do on a small screen budget. It boggles my mind that Kirkman wouldn't be like, I just want to film that. Like, if we're going to fuck around with everything else, that is a made-for-TV event that's compelling as hell. And again, I just don't understand why they wouldn't just shoot that. It's fucking storyboarded.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
maybe they will.
He goes on, major spoilers. In the comics, Rick and Abraham have a great relationship down the road, but when they first meet, it shows us just how scary it is to cross either of these two characters. They both go so far as to plot how they could kill each other, and then even attempt in some cases. It isn't until they share a moment that they can relate about how they got fucked up during the zombie apocalypse that they become friends. Are you interested in seeing a Rick and Abraham showdown? Do you see that as being inevitable?
Not yet, because I haven't read the comics, and the show has not even introduced them to one another yet.
I see this happening.
So, okay. Having read the comics, yeah, how does that go?
Well, I'm not saying just how Rick treated Tyrese, and Tyrese is relatively meek, pacifist almost, demeanor, at least when he's not enraged over the impending death of his sister.
Yeah.
Versus Abraham, I like to fight.
That's true.
I like to tell people how it's going to be. I just think that is that's a thunderstorm that's going to come to a head.
Yeah, no, you could be right.
So, yeah, that's all we got for spoilers, man.
Oh, okay. Anything else we want to talk about, or is that it for the show?
That's it for the show.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. I'll see you on Sunday.
See you Sunday night.